This demo is brought to you by our friends at Softball Fans. Visit www.softballfans.com for all of your 2017 slow pitch needs.
Okay guys, Beat the Hero checking in here, and got something a little different for you guys today. I'm going to do some glove reviews. A Softball Fan sent me these Dudley gloves. Got the 13-inch with an H-web. We have the 13.5 with the single dual reinforced web. Have a, what is this, I believe a 14, yes, with the T-net style web. And then the gargantuan 15-inch with a dual post web. All these gloves are open back, and let's get a little closer look at what these things look like with the ball in them and kind of with me handling them. Okay, so first up we have the 13-inch H-web, open back. Get this thing on here. I always do my gloves two in the pinky, for those that don't know. And that's basically, if you can see where my hand is, this index finger slot is empty, and my index finger is here, middle finger here, and then I do two down here on the side. It's merely just a preference thing. I like how they break in and kind of make the pocket a little deeper as they get broken in. These gloves are cut specifically for softball. This is a 12-inch ball, and I will say that the 13-inch does play just a little bit small. I don't want to be popping these tags off or anything because I do not plan on using these. I just kind of wanted to get a little bit of review in on them. This 13-inch does play a little bit small, but as you can see, kind of holding it side to side, it does play deep for a 13-inch glove. That is kind of one bonus to having a glove that is cut for softball, is it's going to play a little deeper. It just kind of hit or miss on, you know, whether the glove itself will play as a true 13-inch or not. Just a little bit on the short side, but as deep as it plays, to me, I can kind of offset that and, you know, be good for me. Maybe not for everybody, but I do prefer kind of a deeper feel as opposed to a glove that may play shallow, although it is true to size. With this one checked out, let's move into the next one. Okay, so up next we have the 13.5-inch single post, what do you call it, triple reinforced, I guess you would say, for you glove snobs. Again with the open back, getting it on the old hand here. The hand stalls are just a little bit tight on these, but that's nothing the little breaking in can't do. That's the whole point of breaking in a glove. A, to get it to fit your hand, and B, to get it to fit your style of needs as a player. Sticking a ball in this thing, you can see the 13.5-inch does, again, just like the last one, play just a little bit short, but you know, looking side to side so you can get a good look at the ball in the glove. Definitely plays deep enough to offset that for me and my personal preferences. So that may be something to consider if, you know, you're looking for a 13-inch glove. You can either compromise and, you know, go with the 13.5, or just, you know, settle with something that may play short but a little bit deeper like these last two. Okay, up next we got the 14-inch T-net style web. This one as well, like I mentioned, open back. Squeeze it on the old hand here. Again with the small hand stall, which just covered in the last one, can be, you know, broken in and just how you want it to be. But you put a ball in this one though, and to me this one plays a little closer to a true 14-inch. With still playing deep on top of that, you can kind of see, you know, as the ball, you know, sits down there in the glove. And that's one thing to remember too, the pocket on these will get bigger. To me, that's already a pretty good size. And with pretty much all of these, since they are cut for softball, they're going to do nothing but get bigger. And since we're done checking this one out, let's move into the good old 15-inch, because it's going to be a big one. Okay, so here we are with the 15-inch model, dual post, open back, as mentioned. This thing is just absolutely humongous. There's no other way to put it. Again, this hand stall on this is a little bit bigger than the others I did notice, but I mean, everything about this glove is just gargantuan. So pretty much to be expected there, I think. And sticking the old softball on this one, you can see, I mean, that is just, that is a 12-inch ball in this glove, and that is just humongous. Like I said, the pocket is deep, and it's going to do nothing but, you know, play deeper as it breaks in. I do have a friend that has one of these, and it is broken in quite nicely. The leather on these is actually pretty nice. But I personally cannot get over, I mean, 15-inch gloves are big in general, but this might be the biggest 15-inch glove I have ever laid eyes on. This is just insane. So if any of you do follow Softball Fans and get on there and check out their stuff, I try and post some of their stuff every once in a while if they have a really good sale on something. And obviously they're sending me this stuff to review. Coincidence just having it. They wanted some reviews on these gloves, and right now they are just ridiculous cheap. These gloves retail for $80 or $90, and Softball Fans is selling them for $55. Pretty much while supplies last. I do not know how many quantities they have of each glove. I do know last time I looked there was still a few left for right and left hand throw. Like I said, not sure how many of each, but in my opinion this is pretty much the best bang for the buck deal on gloves right now. This is not, you know, your standard, you know, fancy top of the line kip, heart of hide, Horween leather, anything like that. Pretty much just a regular old steer hide glove, but these are stiff. And the one that is broken in, I wish I had it with me so I could show you guys. Broke in nice and deep, and the 15-inch model is the one that was broken in. The pocket got nice and deep without the whole glove turning flimsy. Just kind of one thing that's nice about the steer hide with these is they are somewhat rigid. And I will say I am impressed with the quality of these, especially for the price. Even at $80 or $90, this would be a good deal. But at $55, I feel like you're crazy if you need a glove and you don't want to pay a ton of money for something and you're not picking one of these up. Now, may have a few questions. This is me as far as personal preference goes. May have some questions on if I play which position, which glove would be good for me. So I prefer the 13-inch for infield. You know, whether it's playing on the corners or, you know, be a good middle infielder glove too for your shortstops or your second baseman or anything like that. Could get by with this in the outfield if you do like a smaller glove, but I personally wouldn't prefer it. The 13-inch would be right there, a good utility-sized glove for maybe if you're back and forth between the infield and the outfield, or also a good glove for pitching. I don't like a smaller glove for pitching simply for the fact that, you know, come on! Wife's back here sneeze bombing me. This is basically the only thing between you and a ball coming at you 100 miles an hour. The bigger the glove you can have, the better, obviously within reason. And this is probably the smallest I would go. This is a 13-inch, plays a little bit short, but it does play deep, like I said. So, you know, basically a good utility all-around type glove. Now these last two, pretty much to me would be outfield gloves. I do know some people that like to play infield with a big glove, but I mean, what you run into with a big glove is big glove plays deep. I tend to lose the ball when it comes to the transfer. So I would recommend either one of these two for pitching, a little bit of first base, and definitely the outfield. I mean, especially when, you know, you see those guys that range and range and range for a ball and it goes off the end of their glove. I'm going to tell you something. You can pretty much play center field from the bench with this thing and you're reeling it in. But just a short little quick review there. I'm not a glove guru, not a glove expert, but this is my opinion on these gloves. I have handled a few from different brands, and my conclusion from these is, you know, very good middle of the road glove, higher than entry level, but very affordable, and especially for you guys that, you know, just kind of getting your feet wet with playing, don't want to spend a ton of money on a glove. These right here are some of your best options as far as any of that goes. Thanks to Softball Fans for sending these out to me. Glad I got a chance to check them out because I have been curious about some of these. Obviously, I already handling one of these. I do really like this one. I kind of need a shorter glove for, you know, those instances where I do play the infield and I'm not pitching. Something like this would be perfect for me. So I'm glad to get my hands on these. Hopefully these help you out. Head over to softballfans.com to get a killer deal on these. And the BP Hero is out of here.